Hello and welcome to the Colne Valley Railway. We're at Castle Hedingham Station here today to meet Accurascale and to see a Ruston 88DS. They're here recording a brand new sound profile for their new O-gauge locomotive, and we're going to show you how it's done and learn a bit more about the sound creation process. Follow me, we'll find out more. So the Colne Valley Railway is a busy little place. Lots happening here in terms of railway restoration. We've got everything from HSTs on the left here down to the Ruston 88DS that we're here to see today. Now this locomotive is the subject of the sound recording that Accurascale is doing for its new 7mm scale model, and the locomotive is owned by Ollie Simons. That's the Wardle Restorations YouTube channel owner. Now this locomotive is midway through its restoration at the moment with Ollie, but it's fully working. It's got all those functionality things that they need in terms of creating a sound profile for the Ruston 88DS. And this one was actually made in 1955. It was built for Warrington Gasworks and it stayed there until 1976, after which it disappeared for a little while until it was found by the MCM Bolton Abbey Railway, and it was there until 2023, at which point Ollie brought it and then it had transported down here to the Colne Valley Railway. He's, like I say, he's now working through the restoration of it, but what we'd like to do is show you a bit more about what's happening with the Accurascale 88DS with Paul Owls, and also learn a bit more about how they do the sound installation with Jamie Goodman. So we're going to find them and show you how it all happens.
So as viewers will have seen, we've had the decoration samples on display in the cabinets at Glasgow and now at Ali Pali. Worked through them, very pleased with the decoration, with the quality of the artwork that the factory's put together on that. There's a couple of issues, as there usually are with these things, usually because of a fault I've made with colour matching or something like that. But yeah, very happy with that. So all the comments have gone back to the factory, compile a list of snags, if you like, for what we're doing. So they've gone back, those are being actioned at the moment. We've also got a production PCB being fitted. So the whole idea is there's a couple of models that I want to see again livery wise. They'll come back with a production PCB fitted, and then hopefully, and we keep our fingers crossed on this, we'll be able to sign them off for production. And they'll go through the manufacturing process. Altogether there's 10 SKUs in the range. Now one of those of course is the Accurascale exclusive, which is the tarmac version. But the other ones are spread, and what I tried to do is create a nice cross section of 88s in service from BR Green through we've got the West Midlands Energy Authority, I can't remember the name, Joint Energy Authority. So that early stage of it through BR Blue, and then we've got industrial use, so there's the NCB in there, there's NEI Industries. We've got the Eastern Gas Board, the Tottenham Works one in there. So a nice variation of colours. They look good when they're laid out and photographed together. It's quite a small locomotive, but I mean, in terms of space inside, it works out quite well, especially with the boxy design of the 88DS. So we've got a 5-pole motor in there, which is nice and standard with flywheel. We're then backing that up with a 21-pin decoder. Now originally we'd spec'd for a Plux 22 to go in there, but there's logistical problems with getting them from their manufacturing base into China, then back out again. So we've revamped the PCB design to accommodate a 21-pin. And then we've got a couple of small speakers stashed in the back section, so that sort of sit right back by the donkey engine. Which is making a nice little package, and that's one of the reasons we're here today, is to get that sound recording sorted, all aspects of it done and dusted, so that we can get on with getting the sound file sorted. Trying to get the sounds right with this, because obviously being a shunting engine, it's got quite a limited scope. So in service, you know, you'd be lucky to get this out of second gear. So what we've done here at the Colne Valley Railway, we've got quite a nice section of track to work on, and we can just about get it, I say we, Ollie the owner, can just about get it run up to full speed, and we've seen some nice sort of drive-bys. I mean, when we say full speed, you know, this is a Ruston, so we're talking about 18 mile an hour. But we go through the range of gearing, we get all the exhaust notes, so there's lingering over and revving going on, so that we get all those exhaust notes in. You also get the whine and the clunker, the gears and all the rods operating. And we'll do several passes like that, which our sound engineer will fill you in on later with far more than a project manager can do. If we cover all of that, and then we get the static sounds, the air dump, the donkey engine, the aligning the crankshafts, and just the switches operating, the horn, all those sort of ancillary sounds together. I mean, it's a smashing location here. We're tucked away a little bit from the road here, so we've got a nice quiet space to work in, and it's great of the Colne Valley to allow us to come in like this. You know, they accommodated us with the launch video. Now they're accommodating us with the sound recording as well, and I think it's important that people recognise the value that, you know, the small heritage railways can add to making a manufacturer's life easier. We're going to say Q1 2025. That gives us a bit of leeway, and with the world situation, you know, we can go through the manufacturing process with no hiccups, but then we've got to ship them, and you know, that trip around the Horn at the moment, and you know, the longer wait for ships to do their rotation just adds to the logistical nightmare. So if we say Q1 25, the hope is that we'll have them shipping sooner than that, and I won't say when I'm particularly hoping for them to come in, but yeah, Q1, and fingers crossed that we can get them here a little bit earlier. When you pick up the model, the weight of the model, how it sits, how it feels is quite important. You know, it does carry off. I mean, when you stand next to an 88DS, they're quite big. You know, it's like any other thing. They dwarf you standing here. But when you produce it in model form, they suddenly become a whole lot smaller. But certainly, as a 7mm model, it's got weight, it's got presence, and it feels like you've got value for money. You know, you've got a lot of money, you've got a lot of model for the money you pay it, and I think that's kind of, it's the heft and the quality that I'm particularly fond of. The detailing, well, in O-Gauge, it's not necessarily a case of adding more detail. It's just making the most of the detail that's there. So it's not a case of chucking on every grommet, every chain, you know, the small parts that can disappear and you never know where they've come from. It's more a case of making the most of the detail that you've got. So things like the radiator. The model employs a back plate which has got texturing for the radiator plate. You've then got the fine mesh. You've then got the overlay on the front, and that area particularly goes together quite nicely. I mean, being the face of the loco, it's the thing that draws the eye most. So yeah, that it's elements like that make me smile when I'm working on a project like this. DC ready, we're 229.99. For sound fitted, that comes in at, I think it's about 320 for that price. So all in all, it's good value. It's O-Gauge, it's 7mm, so you know, I suppose people will a little bit of a gasp, but when you compare it to other models that are available, I think it represents really good value for money.
brake squeals. Yep, right here.
First thing I'd look at is the actual engine itself, to understand how it interacts between the gears, the engine and the track. And then once I've understood that, I can then sort of tailor request the driver to drive in specific manners to capture the best sound quality I can, capturing all the little quirks, the knocks and the bangs and the grinds that this particular little engine makes. I'll then take that away, sound edit it, and then start putting it together in basically like a sound flow. So it all flows together, matching the speed steps and what the end user's basically doing on their controller. So first thing I look for is most suitable anchor points. Where can I put a microphone, first off safely, and second off where to get the most quality sounds out of. So once I've established my anchor points, I then pick the best ones with the available microphones I've got, and basically cable tie them up nice and secure, and we go from there. So the gearbox particularly, it makes a good graunching sound when it takes off, when it's coasting, and when it's slowing down. So they're the sort of elements I'm looking for, the knocks and the bangs and the unusual sounds specific to this engine. Yeah, it's very much the pulling away. It makes interesting sounds along with slowing down. So it all makes it bespoke and unique to this engine. I'll upload all the sounds from the microphones onto my computer. I'll basically overview what I've captured on the day, and then commence the editing process to get the best out of it. Editing like the clarity, the treble, the bass, removing unwanted frequencies and disturbances that may have made their way in, before then looking to identify the certain sound loops to form that sound flow that will create the project. I have a particular problem with having to make things louder, so you get the top end nice and loud, and it's sort of bringing the bottom end sounds like your idles and like your low engine stages to bring them up to sort of not exact sound levels, but so it sounds about right, because with sound obviously trying to scale the sound down, so to speak, to make it appropriate to the size of model it's going in. I would say it could be anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks really. It depends on what the microphones have captured, depends on how much editing is required, because some engines I can take the recordings and they need minimal amount of editing. Some locos will emit a certain amount of frequencies which overpower the other frequencies, which then require significant time to bring that down to make it all work. There's a lot more that goes on than people think. It's almost creating a model in its own right with the sound. Each locomotive I will go and record, all sounds associated with that locomotive will be taken from that one on the day. So each horn will be bespoke to the locomotive recorded. Each door slam, brake hiss, obviously the engine itself, brake squeal, that will all be from that engine I recorded on that recording day. I'd say the thing I'm looking forward to is making sure I've got those quirks, those knocks and bangs captured to replicate this engine. So when it's on someone's layout, it will be true to the model.
So we hope you enjoyed this insight into how a sound profile is recorded for a locomotive with Accurascale, and also the latest update for their 88DS. We're really looking forward to seeing the fully finished product arrive in the first quarter of 2025. We'll be able to keep up to date with the latest updates on the project on keymodelworld.com, as well as in Hornby Magazine as well, our monthly magazine. Thank you very much for watching today. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.